I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
This episode is brought to you by Prime Video. In the small town of Holland, Michigan, nothing is ever what it seems. Behind the tulip festivals and pretty houses lay dark secrets that threaten to tear a marriage apart. Nicole Kidman stars in this darkly twisted thriller about a wife and mother whose quest to uncover her husband's secrets may get her more than she bargained for. Holland, streaming on Prime Video March 27th.
Hi, and welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I'm the founder of the Food Truck Training Group on Facebook, co-owner with my beautiful wife Melissa of our own food truck. It's called Food Truck 101, and I'm the executive director of the National Street Food Vendors Association, which is a nonprofit dedicated to education, advocacy, and uplifting all food vendors. Today I'm going to be talking about when food vendors say no to their bank account. Now you might think that you would never ever say no to your bank account, and hopefully you don't ever say no to your bank account, but there are some practices that food truck owners and food vendors in general do that actually does say no to their bank account. This past week, someone asked a question about selling barbecue meat by the pound, and most people gave good advice. They gave different ways to figure out how much to charge for it, and then they talked about how to mate it with sides and that kind of thing. And then, of course, creating a profitable price. There was one person, though, that said, "I refuse to sell meat by the pound. I make more money selling sandwiches." All right, so let's just break that down. We'll start with the last part of that comment. I make more money selling sandwiches. And I asked them, how is that possible? Because if you think about it, no matter what you price the sandwich at, it's still got a certain portion of meat on it. It also has at least a bun, and then it's going to have at least some type of wrap or carrier to send that thing out. When you're selling a pound of meat, all you have is a pound of meat and then whatever container you're putting it in. So at the very least, you're saving the price of the bun. Now, if you're smart, you would price that meat relative to the price of the meat in the sandwich. So if you were selling it by the pound, it would just simply be a multiple of the ounces in the sandwich. So for example, if you're selling an 8-ounce portion on your sandwich, somebody wants a pound of meat, well, that's 2 8-ounce portions. You can make it cost the exact same amount as buying 2 sandwiches. So if you're selling your sandwich for, let's say, $12, has 8 ounces of meat on it, and it's got a bun, and then it's got to have a wrap, whatever that profitability is, if somebody says, "Hey, dude, I want to buy a pound of meat from you," not a problem, $24. You save the price of 2 buns. Therefore, you have to be making more money selling a single pound of barbecue than if you were selling a multiple of whatever your portion is plus the bun. Now that's the simple math. That's the simple way. How do you say no to the guests when they step up and say, "Hey, I want a pound of beef," and you say, "No, I don't sell it like that. I refuse to sell it like that," is actually what the comment was. Then you have a problem. Because now the guest has been told no. No one likes to hear the word no. What do we do when the kids are doing something wrong? We holler, "No!" Don't do that. So from a very young point in life, we're conditioned that no is a bad thing. So when I step up as a customer and say, "Hey, I'd like to buy a pound of roast beef or barbecue or whatever it is you sell by the pound," and you say no, I say, "See you later." I don't say, "Oh, well, can I have something else then, please, sir?" You've told me no, you don't want my money. Not a problem. I'll go somewhere else that does want my money. If you don't like selling it by the pound because, oh my goodness, I can't do the math on that and figure it out. I can't figure out how much more to cook if I'm going to have 2 or 3 people a day ask for a pound of beef or a pound of roast beef or whatever it is you sell. If you're mathematically challenged and can't do that, ask someone for help. If you honestly and truly don't like selling it by the pound, which I can't imagine why you wouldn't, because it's easy. As a barbecue dude, I'd rather sell a whole bunch of pounds of meat and not have to worry about carrying buns or condiments or anything else. But hey, some people like making their life difficult. All you got to do, if you really truly don't like selling it by the pound, maybe you need the bun to make your meat taste better, I don't know. But if you really truly don't like selling it by the pound, don't tell people no, because they will not spend additional money because you're too stubborn to sell them something that they want, because they came up and asked you, hey, please, sir, can I have 1 pound of? And you say, no, go away. Now, you may not say go away, but you imply go away by saying no. So if you're so hell-bent on not selling something by the pound, then just price it astronomically high. So you're not telling your guests no. You're saying, sure, absolutely, I'll sell you a pound of beef. It may cost $50 a pound. And then that would let the guest say, well, you know what? That's a little steep. I don't think I'll buy that. Now, of course, that's an exaggeration. But here's the thing. Melissa likes reading the menu. And she likes looking at, well, I like what's on this plate as it's built, and I like what's on this plate as it's built, but I don't like the other things that are on the 2 different plates. So she'll ask the server, hey, can I get this element and this element put on a single plate? And the server, probably 90% of the time, says, sure, we'll figure it out. And then they go make it happen. Sometimes it comes back, it costs way more than it should have, but Melissa got exactly what she wanted. And then sometimes it comes back costing way less than it should have because they rang it up in an odd fashion, but they still rang it up. And Melissa got what she wanted without being told, no, the way the plate is the way it gets sent out to you. If you want both those things, buy 2 plates and throw the stuff away you don't want. That's stupid. I refuse to sell meat by the pound. That's stupid. You're in the hospitality industry. That means that you are being hospitable. Hospitable means that you are being accommodating and giving people what they want. And again, if you really don't want to sell it by the pound, just make the price astronomical. What that does is it makes your other pricing look more attractive and creates value for the sandwich itself. Well, look, it's going to cost me $50 a pound to get this, but I can get this sandwich for $12. I think that makes this sandwich an awesome price. Nope, don't sell it by the pound. Nope, you just don't put any money in your bank account either. Saying no to people does not help your business. Never does. Many, many years ago, I worked at a fast food restaurant, Burger King. Y'all probably know it. The operator of the Burger King, his name was Mark Ordway, and he used to be the vice president of Burger King Corporation. He came to our franchise and started teaching people there how to do things right. Probably one of the best operators I've ever met. The owner of the franchise was a real estate guy. He had property that he'd been sitting on, in some cases, for decades, to build a Burger King when it became appropriate for that area's growth to add on a Burger King. So he had long-term vision, but as a real estate owner or real estate investor, he also knew his shortcomings. He knew exactly nothing about running a restaurant, and certainly very little about running a franchise restaurant. So he hired somebody, spared no expense. And one of the things that they developed is called a yes policy. The only response you give to a guest is to say yes, and then figure out how to make it happen. So when the guest steps up and says, hey, I want a pound of beef. Yes, absolutely. And you may be scrambling to figure out how much to charge for it, and that's okay. The guest doesn't have to know. You have no clue. But you figure out a profitable price and make it happen. People come into Burger King. Can I get? And we were trained to say, yes, you sure can. Now, it's going to cost you. If they would ask for something that just definitely wasn't on the menu in some odd combination, it would cost them. And then they got to decide, well, it's maybe not worth that, so no, I'll change it to this. That's them saying no to themselves, and we still got money out of them. When you say, I refuse to sell you a pound of barbecue, okay, no problem. See you later, dude. You have made exactly nothing. And if there's somebody around that hears you say, nope, I'm not selling you that, they have a negative impression of you too. They may go ahead and stand in line because they've already committed the time, and they may go ahead and order something. They may even be impressed with the food, but they still have that nagging thing in the back of their mind where they heard you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, tell somebody that wanted to give you money, no, I don't want it. I am not going to sell you this product that is here right in front of you. You can smell it. I'm teasing you with it, but you can't have it because I don't want to sell it by the pound. There is no excuse in the world for that. You're in business to sell food. When someone comes up and asks you, hey, dude, can I buy some food? You don't say, no, I don't want to sell it that way. Melissa pointed out when we were discussing this that if somebody was too stupid, absolutely too stupid, to sell me a pound of beef, she'd say, well, I just buy whatever the multiple is on that and tell them, can you put the buns on the side? I don't want it to get soggy on the way home. Now, would you say no to that? You just sold them a pound of beef and they're going to just throw away your stupid little buns. Would you say no to that? Or would you accommodate them? There's a very dumb operator out in California who absolutely refuses to make a burger special. Even in the case where all somebody wants to do is leave off a condiment. Nope, I don't do specials because I'm too stupid to figure out how to do it on my own. So what that implies is the burger's already made and already assembled, and you got to buy it exactly the way he wants to sell it. That's not hospitality. That's dictatorship. You want to be in the food business, but accommodate people. Again, when you tell somebody no, you have also told your bank account no. How many times can you afford to tell your bank account no before the bank account says, hey, we're at zero, dude? The next thing you run is going to put you in negative. Just sell what people ask for. Figure out a way to price it and let them tell you no if it's too high. And that's okay. It's okay for them to say, oh, it's a little bit more than I wanted to pay. Not a problem. This is what it costs. Do you want me to package it up for you, or would you like something else? Let them decide what they want. Don't tell somebody no. Thank you guys so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding what we do enjoyable, please subscribe to the podcast. And if you really like what we do, there's a link in the description so that you guys can help support us. Thank you guys so much for listening. You guys have a profitable week.